Safety and education. That's what led this Sudanese family to start a new life in Lincoln, Nebraska.
One of the main things was the civil war going on there, and it was not safe anymore. Plus, most kids don't go to school there.
During the 90s, the country of Sudan was caught up in a brutal civil war. Luca Thor and his family hoped to find safety by fleeing the northern Sudan to its southern region. Deng Kong, Thor's uncle, says nobody was safe in Sudan.
They did not distinguish between the military and civilians, so they just try to kill everybody who is there.
There were like some random people that would just show up out of nowhere and take your stuff, you know. Sometimes they wouldn't have to, they don't have to kill you. They just terrify you and make sure you leave all your stuff there, and they would take it.
Perhaps what was most heartbreaking about the war, like most civil wars, was that it forced neighbor to fight neighbor.
They use spears, or even knives, or stones, or whatever they can get. And that is really not pretty. Because when it's like tribal or sort of fight like that, people know each other.
Thor's family found the South to be just as dangerous as the North. When Thor was 6 years old, he witnessed his father being hauled off by soldiers to be killed. Thor and his family owe their lives to their father, who gave his so that they could live.
They call all the family out and as our dad, like, should we just take you and leave the family or kill the whole family? And my dad chose to, just take me, leave the family alone.
After Thor's father was killed, the family decided they had to leave Sudan completely. In 1994, Thor's family left their homeland behind them and fled to a refugee camp in Ethiopia, which became their home for the next 7 years.
The refugees camp is really, it's a harsh life, it's a really difficult life because there is no good food, okay? There is no clean water.
Just sitting there not knowing when your food is going to come, it's kind of frustrating.
Although they were much safer in the refugee camp than back in Sudan, Thor's mother longed to raise her children in a better environment. With the assistance of the United Nations, she applied for her family's resettlement. After a long process, in September of 2001, Thor and his family began their new life in the United States. Adjusting to such a vastly different culture is often challenging for refugees.
You can have culture shock, because different culture, and you try to adjust to adopt it, that culture. It's not easy.
Thor says he had to carefully pick and choose which American lifestyles he wanted to adopt.
American culture doesn't have to destroy my culture. It can transform it, but not completely, erase it. I can change some of the things that I know are not going to take me somewhere in my culture and sub in some of the American culture that would take me to where I want to go.
After seeing what these refugees have seen and knowing what they've been through, one might think they would never want to return to the dangers and hardships they only narrowly escaped back in Sudan. But that's simply not the case.
My plan is to go ahead and get my master's degree, and hopefully I'll be able to help my siblings and my mom and my grandma, and maybe have a chance to go home and help people out.
With lofty goals, Thor hopes for a better, more peaceful life for his family and his native people.
This whole journey has, given me a good experience of what I want to do to help myself or to help the other people.
And perhaps most importantly, he wants the people of Sudan to know that they are not forgotten.
And I do have real big desire to, help them out and tell them that, I was somewhere else, but I still remember.
For NewsNet Nebraska, I'm Carson Stokebrand.